Perfect. Hello, everybody. My name is Amanda DeMuzio. I am a senior artistic educator and regional trainer with Pravana. I am so excited to be here today with you guys from Boardman, Ohio. If anybody here is also from the Midwest, it is freezing and cold, but that's okay. We are going to make some beautiful art together. When I am not doing this, teaching, hanging out with Deborah, I am behind the chair, 6, 7, all the days behind the chair. And I specialize in blonding and bridal and vivids, of course. So while we are doing this, if you guys have any questions about our new vivids or any other, please ask away. I am OHIO. I am trying to keep a hold of the chat as well. Today we played with Deborah and I gave her a stunning Chunky, because I'm so sorry Chunky's coming back. And I'm okay with it. I've been getting the Kelly Clarkson requests and I think it's loads of fun. And I just changed it up a little bit so that we could make this beautiful Vivids look. With it, I used our brand new colors that just came out in time for Valentine's Day. Our wearable pinks. We have Juicy and we have Crush. These are formulated to go on levels 8 and up. And just look at them. They are so pretty. I love a nice soft pink. Do you guys love that? And I wanted to add a little spice to that as well. So we have sweet and we have spicy. So we are going to use our red Vivids with black additive. See how that made that nice and deep, a nice little shadow. Into flame, orange, and yellow Vivids. And then for this panel, we went ahead and did our Crush into Juicy. So I'm going to show you guys exactly how I did that today. I'm going to spin her around, Miss Deborah. There we go. And while I am prepping and getting my gloves on, I am going to ask you guys, can you guys see Miss Deborah very well? Give me a thumbs up, high five. Whichever emoji is your favorite, go ahead and give me that. Perfect, perfect. That's what I like to see. So first things first, you have to put your gloves on the right hands. And that is fine. There we go. All right, you guys. So we started this out by doing a old school beauty school technique, our mohawk up here. So from her eyebrow to her crown, we are going to create that mohawk look. And then I left everything else down and I'm going to take panels vertically around her head, alternating between our spice panel and our sweet panel. How's that sound, everybody? I am excited to get this started. I'm going to move this real quick. I'm so sorry. There we go. We need space up in here, right? So through the power of television, we have all of our colors completely ready for us. And I'm going to take my comb. I'm just using a foiling comb so I could get those nice clean sections. And we have our nice Zulu knot in our mohawk section, just so we could keep everything nice and tight and out of the way while we work. Now, my favorite kind of clips when I am doing any Vivids look is going to be these clips right here. They are perfect to keep everything nice and clean. And we are going to start out with about sections that are about 2 fingers wide. That's a great way to kind of make sure everything stays symmetrical. And as we go around this head, when we get to that mohawk, we're going to line everything up so we get these nice panels throughout her head. Are you guys excited? How many people in here are Vivids users already? Does everybody here use Vivids already? The great thing about our Vivids is how vibrant and beautiful they are, right? They are completely stunning. They will give you they will last up to 30 washes. And they are seriously the best, most customizable colors there are. All of these colors that I'm creating today can be intermixed together. So if you wanted to be crazy and mix them all together, I don't know what color that would make, but you can be artistic and do that. Another thing, when I am doing my Vivids applications, we are going to keep our colors on our tray in the order that we're going to use them so we don't get mixed up, okay? So we are going to start with this panel. Again, everybody can see, right? All my friends can see. We are going to start right here. And I'm not just going to go ahead and just slap my Vivids right here, right? Because I want to make sure that I'm keeping all of my sections very small. That way, when I'm going to tilt her a little so you can see her. That way I'm saturating all the way through. Now I know, because right here I had my sweet, my juicy into crush, that my next section is going to be my spice, right? So with that, I'm going to start with my Vivid Red with black additive. Right here, I did 30 grams of our red into 5 grams of our black additive. Now our black additive is great because it can go on, intermix with any of our shades to give a nice, beautiful, smoky depth look to that color, which is why we got that beautiful shadow right there. Now, when we are applying Vivids, we at Pravana have what's called the 3-inch rule, okay? So I am not going to pull my Vivids down more than 3 inches. And that is because Vivids are a semi-permanent color, right? So semi-permanent means that they're not going to swell. They're going to stay exactly where you put them. So I want to make sure that I'm really putting it where I want it, right? So we are not going to skimp around on our color when it comes to Vivids. So we got our red into our black additive. Now when I get that color on there, I'm going to take these 2 fingers and I'm just going to blend it together, okay? So by using these 2 fingers, I am able to blend that color out so everything is seamless and nothing is a stark line. Everything about this look, I wanted it to be very blendy, even if it is chunky, right? So we're doing chunky, but we're doing blended. So our first panel, we have, again, that red with our black additive into our flame. And I'm going to go in with our orange. And the great thing with this, because of our 3-inch rule, that is how I'm applying my color. So once I get to that 3 inches, I'm moving on to the next color. So everything is going to be cohesive and measured out the entire time. Also, make sure you are wiping your hands often when you are working with Vivids. You want to keep the color where you want it and not put it where you don't, right? So now we go to our yellow. I don't know about you guys, but yellow is my absolute favorite color. How about you guys? What are your favorite Vivids colors? Tell me your favorite colors. I am also so excited to have a wearable pink that I can use for all of my blonding. Yay, we got pink. I'm so excited for you to try these juicy and crush. Green, we love green too. So again, I'm moving up that head. We love red, same. Great, this is awesome. Now we are, Deborah's shedding on us. If that ever happens, make sure you take those little stragglers of hair because they're going to get where you don't want them. So I am making sure I apply underneath, over the top, and we are going to work our way down. See how my section is not, she is not super thick, right? So I am able to kind of see through that a little bit. So I know that I'm getting the color on the top of the hair, on the bottom, and in the middle. We don't want you to rinse out the color and end up with any hollow parts. So when we are using Vivids, they are created to go on clean, dry, pre-lightened hair, and they are going to process for 20 minutes at room temperature. We are not going to put this on wet, and we are not going to put this under heat, right? So clean, dry, pre-lightened hair. Now we say pre-lightened hair because there is this super cool thing about Vivids, and is that they utilize a cationic system, which allows a positive and a negative charge, which is why our Vivids stay super long and are super vibrant. That charge, when we are lightening hair, creates a negative charge. And when we are using our Vivids, that creates that positive charge. And we all, well, maybe not all of us, but do you guys remember elementary school science class? That's exactly it, cationic attachments, which maybe it's high school. I think my kid's doing that now. Perfect. So we are going to move up that head. Again, we are just going around the head, and we are creating these beautiful panels within the hair. How many of you guys are excited to see some of those more chunky highlight looks coming through? I think it allows us to have just another way to be super creative behind the chair. I love anytime we can kind of think outside the box and not be stuck. And our Vivids are perfect for that. Now, when I am lightening for Vivids, my favorite lightener is going to be our Pure Light Ultra Lightener. She will give you up to 9 levels of lift, which I don't know about you guys, but I love that. She makes 1 part of our Pure Light Ultra Lightener to 2 parts the developer of your choice. Now, when I am lightening hair, I really like to use our Zero Lift Cream Developer and keep that nice low and slow, because even though we are lifting that hair, we want to make sure that we're not blowing that cuticle out, right? We still want to keep it nice and healthy and lovely, because our art is only as good as our canvas. So again, we're putting these colors in and blending that down. And then after we pre-lighten that hair, if you are utilizing our new Juicy or our Crush, you can always go through and pre-tone or tone to set the tone for those vivid tones. We have a beautiful platinum toner, which is going to be our platinum blush, which would be perfect for that, which is just going to give us even more of an oomph when we are creating palettes like this. Toning to set the tone really enhances the work that we are going to do. So again, we are putting her on there. Notice how I'm not rushing. I want to go ahead and make sure I'm getting that color everywhere that I need it. And I'm making sure I am intentional on where I put that color, making sure it's super saturated. Do you guys see that? Again, we are not going to try to stretch this color out, right? We need our Vivids to go where we want to go, right? So I'm reading, since it takes so much product doing Vivids, I'm curious how you price Vivids. So that is going to be per location, per stylist. I can't really make a price, like a pricing guide for you guys. I would say figure out how much you are spending behind the chair and go from there. How much you want to make off of it. But every area is different, so I can't really give you pricing. Should we make sure that the toner is alkaline before Vivids? So not necessarily. You don't need to. Just make sure that you are toning in a way that is going to complement the colors that you are doing. Okay, so you don't need to be too worried about whether it's going to be acidic or alkaline, because again, we are using that liner and creating that negative charge. Our toner isn't going to change that. I hope that makes sense. I also see which one is better. Oh my God, I'm so sorry. Your question went away. I saw something about which one is better, Platinum Spice. I'm going to assume that you said Platinum Spice or Platinum Blush for a look like this. I'm just assuming. Please tell me if I'm wrong. But it really depends, again, what you want that end product to be. So if you want it to have more of that like soft pinky effect, then I'm going to go ahead and use my Platinum Blush. If I want it to have more of a peachy tone, then that is when I'm going to pick my Platinum Spice. So it really is just being as artistic as you want to be, as long as you're following those rules, right? So making sure it's going on that clean, towel-dried, pre-lightened hair. Make sure that we are not putting it under heat. And when you are using our Vivids, the best thing I can say is to make sure that you are washing this out in cool water, right? You want that water to be cold. That is going to give you more longevity when it comes to our clients keeping those colors in their hair. And also, it's going to make it just a little bit easier for us to control when we wash it out. Also, when we are using Vivids, we are going to shampoo them out. Our Repair Radiance is great for that. All of our shampoos in our new care line, if you guys haven't played with those yet, I definitely recommend you do. They smell so good. But they are all color safe. So we want to make sure we are sending our clients home and shampooing them with something that is very color safe when we are using tones like this, right? So working our way down. Are pastels considered vivid? If they are in a tube like this that say Vivids, they are Vivids. So you are going to want to, again, pre-lighten and put them on clean towel or clean dry hair, right? Now, the really great thing about Vivids, since Juicy and Crush are brand new, the great thing about all of our Vivids is if you look at this box, take a peek. It's so pretty. It'll tell you right there what to lift to in order to get that true tone, right? So Juicy and Crush are formulated to go on a level 8 and up, whereas something like our Red Vivids is going to have that 7. See how they're circled? It's a great way to pay attention and know that you are lifting correctly and you are going to get the color that you expect. You can tweak this, and if you are going to lift it, this red all the way up to a level 10, you are going to get an extremely bright tone, right? Because it's not going to have those underlying pigments that it relies on to create that pure red tone. It's just another way to be customizable when it comes to your art. So I'm going to move Deborah here. We're going to move on to our Crush into our Juicy. So again, about 2 fingers. Measure her out. And I don't know why the circus theme is in my head. You know, the dun 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 dun. So I'm so sorry if I just sing to you guys. I very often do that while I work behind the chair. I always give my clients a nice little karaoke session from myself. So now we are moving in to our Crush into Juicy. I'm going to show you guys here. She's so pretty. I'm so obsessed. Again, we are taking that section and applying our color. We are making sure that we are really saturating that hair. And because I am just doing 2 colors, I'm going to drag her down a little bit more. Again, I just want this to be as blended as possible, right? We want that nice blend. We're not doing a pixelated look here. We want everything to be blended and pretty and soft. And I'm going to work in that juicy. Work her in, and these 2 fingers to blend her out, right? Has anybody seen the Juicy and Crush in your stores yet? I'm so excited to see what everybody creates with them. I love to see how different everybody utilizes and creates art with Pravana. You saw Crush? Great! Do you recommend lifting gray hair before applying a Vivid? Yes. So I always recommend, even if somebody is white, even if somebody is naturally blonde, we want to make sure that we are at least lifting it a little bit, whether it be a soap cap at the bowl or a full lightening service. Again, we want to create those pockets in our porosity in order to connect and keep that color on their hair, right? So if we just put it on hair that is naturally white or that naturally blonde, you may not get the same staying power, right? So we always recommend that it go on pre-lightened hair. So always make sure you are adding that into your timing when you are creating a look like this. So I am working really hard to make sure that I'm not applying color into the next section because we want to have those definite transition marks. I guess marks work. And we are going down that hair. See, I went 3 inches or about 3 fingers, and I'm reapplying on my brush and going back on that hair. Again, we want to make sure that we are getting that great saturation. Saturation is key, whether it is a Vivids tone or a permanent color or even a type of toner, right? We want to make sure that hair is saturated, especially for a look like this or for gray coverage, especially. We don't want to skimp out on our color. We are going to add that in. So again, we have our red with black additive. Black additive is not going to have that number chart on the tube like our other Vivids. And that is because black additive is not a vivid tone on its own, right? It's an additive. It is made to go into other colors to create that nice smoky effect. It allowed us to give that really nice deep shadow there, right? But still in that red family. Now with our black additive, we also have what is called clear pastel and clear dilute. So you can customize your colors even more that way. Clear pastel, someone was asking about pastels earlier. Clear pastel is going to pastel out any tone, right? And our clear dilute is going to make it lighter and brighter. So one is like mixing it with milk, which is going to be our clear pastel, and the other is going to be like mixing with water, which is going to be our clear dilute. So I am so excited for Juicy and Crush as well because I have been doing so many more of those slightly warmer toned blondes, which I am loving. I'm loving the warm blondes coming back. I am loving the chunky coming back, and Juicy and Crush are going to complement that so well. How is the result of smoky silver over white hair? Can I use it for a gray result? So smoky silver, I just want to clarify really quickly. So smoky silver, are we talking about our vivids or are we talking about our express tones? Let me know there, the vivids. So again, you can use it over gray hair, but you want to make sure you pre-lighten that hair first. If you are wanting a super silver tone, you can go through if somebody is already gray and do like a soft highlight on them and then do an overlay with our smoky silver that way. And you can even tone to set the tone with either our smoky silver express tone or our platinum smoke, depending on how light of a kind of result that you want, right? Do you shampoo Vivids out or just thorough rinse? I always shampoo my Vivids out. Again, we are going to give her a really good rinse. And I'm so sorry if you guys hear that. There is a salt truck going down my road. So we are going to make sure that we rinse that out really good. We are going to want that water to kind of run clear. And then we are going to shampoo out our Vivids. We want to make sure we are sending our clients home with nice clean hair so they don't have to go home again and wash it, right? So that is why we are making sure we are shampooing in our cool water. And we are using a color safe shampoo and conditioner like our Repair Radiance. I really love our Repair Radiance. She is, hold please, bum, ba, da, ba. She is going to be right here. So she goes perfectly with Juicy and Crush too. It is a great idea when you are doing Vivids clients that you kind of add in to your service, at least I do, add in for them to have some take-home care. That way you're protecting their investment and your art. So when, again, you are using your Vivids, you are putting it on our pre-lightened, dry, not towel dried, not she shook her head out for a minute, not she sat there while I ran to the bathroom. We want to make sure that we are drying that hair. We don't want it to be diluted and we don't want to change the hair's porosity in any way because water is going to do that, right? So we want to make sure, again, it is going on dry hair for 20 minutes at room temperature. Everything in Pravana is going to go on the hair and process at room temperature, right? We are not going to put her under a dryer with our Vivids on, and we also are not going to send her outside. I don't know about you guys, but it was a -2 degrees where I am when I woke up this morning, and I am not built for this. So we are doing a beautiful summery look with our sweet and our spicy and our crush and our juicy. So we are manifesting, even though the groundhog saw a shadow, it's fine. He's not correct. I'm going to go with he's not right. So again, we have our red Vivids with our black additive into our flame, orange, and our yellow. So we are just moving right along. Miss Deborah here. Do you guys name your mannequins? All of my mannequins have forever and will forever be named Deborah. All vivid colors have a blue base. So I would not say that all vivid colors have a blue base. Are you thinking about our ChromaSilk? Our ChromaSilk color is going to have a slightly cool base. It is not going to have like a true blue base. But but I'm wondering if that's what you're thinking. All of our Vivids are going to have a different base depending on what color they are, right? Because the Vivids are going to be like a true tone, right? So they're green, they're blue, they're red, they're juicy, they're crush, they're pink. So you don't have to kind of formulate for that. When you are using our Vivids, if you're worried about like how they are going to process on the hair, make sure you are paying attention to our lifting guide, right? That is black. So we have it on our boxes. So with red, red is going to be created to be applied on a level 7, right? So what is our underlying pigment that we expose when lifting the hair at a level 7? Anybody? 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 Ba, ba, ba. Come on, guys. Yes. So we are going to have orange, right? So our red Vivid is created to work with that red underlying pigment to give you that true red tone, right? That's why I said if you put it all the way up on Deborah here, who is a level 13, it may give you a brighter result, right? Because you don't have those orange tones to help solidify or anchor that red. Does that make sense? So our tones that we have in Vivids, some of them are going to go on a level 9, like our greens. Some of them are going to go on a level 10, like a lot of our blues, except for like our all-nighter, which is one of our newer shades. It is stunning. So we just want to make sure we are paying attention to that. So you're not going to have to worry so much about, is it blue based or something like that, because Vivids aren't formulated in the same way that permanent hair colors are. That makes sense. Does the Vivid colors tend to bleed if you are using the yellow? Woo! Words are hard sometimes. The red and yellow close together. So again, you can kind of utilize that, right? So they're not always going to bleed if you are careful. So like anything, any color, you want to make sure when you don't want them to kind of intermix and mingle, you are going to rinse them in that cold water, right? Once you initially get the Vivids out of the hair, you aren't going to have to worry about that anymore. So I always say, again, the colder the water, the better. So sorry, clients. And also, we are going to make sure we are shampooing that out of the hair so no color is just living on the hair. But a great thing about it is sometimes I will utilize that and create different tones that way. So I can create, if I didn't want to use, let's say, an orange Vivid, but I wanted an area of orange, I can do my red and my yellow next to each other and kind of blend those together on the actual hair, right? And I'm going to create that tone on their hair already. So it's just another way that you can kind of customize those looks. So the next question we have, if I mix any neon tone with another non-neon tone, what happens? Is the neon result still there? So when you are intermixing any tones, it really depends on the ratios. If you are mixing neon tones with other Vivids tones, you may lose that like black light effect when you shine it under a black light. But by adding Vivids into your formulation, or neons into your formulation, you may get a brighter, more neon-like look. Does that make sense? How long do Vivid colors last? So Vivid colors can last up to 30 washes. So depending on how often your client washes her hair is going to kind of affect the longevity there. So when we are doing Vivids, we want to make sure that we are teaching and educating our clients on how to take care of their hair, right? And we should do that with any color that we do, whether it be Vivids or blonding or a permanent color. We always want to make sure that we are educating our clients because we are the experts, right? You don't go to the doctor and expect them to not explain anything. So just make sure you are explaining to your clients how to take care of their beautiful color. And again, they will last up to 30 washes, which is so great. So we are working on our spice right here. And I call it spice because it's like pepper themed. That's kind of what I did when I was deciding what look to make, because Crush and Juicy to me scream candy, right? Like that's what I think of. I think of candy. I think of gummy bears. I think of like, do you remember those like heart suckers? That's kind of what I think of when I think of these tones. So when I was creating this look, a great way to kind of come up with looks when you are using Vivids is definitely use Pinterest. I know, but don't look up hair when you are using Vivids and you want to create your own look and you have creative control. Look up things that inspire you, colors that inspire you, mixtures that inspire you, and make yourself a little mood board. And that is exactly how I came up with this look, right? So I wanted to make sure that I was doing pepper tones. So we got red and our yellows and our oranges, all those spicy peppers. And for our Crush and our Juicy, I was thinking more of gummy bears and hearts and Valentine's Day, things like that. What about changing up the colors to different colors when you need to do a color remover? So are you asking how to, I just want to make sure I'm correct. Are you asking how to remove Vivids and then go ahead and change the color? Is that what we are going with? If I am trying to diminish my Vivids, I am going to use our Pure Light. Perfect. I am going to use our Pure Light Power Lightener. Our Pure Light Power Lightener is going to give you up to 7 levels of lift. I am going to use my 0 lift cream developer or my 10 volume cream developer, depending on the integrity of their hair. And I'm going to diminish those tones a little bit. Now, because Vivids live on top of the hair, right? And they don't fully penetrate that cuticle, we are just diminishing that tone so that we can change it or tone it out and remove it. So I am going to allow that to process and wash and then decide what I'm going to tone with. Say if I ended up lifting out my reds, my oranges, my yellows, I may have like a soft pink area, right? I may be left with a very, very light kind of pink tone. So then I'm just going to go ahead and tone that away or neutralize that. So if I have a pink tone left, what color do you think I'm going to use to neutralize that out of the hair? Anybody? If I'm left with a pink tone when I'm diminishing my Vivids, yeah, so I'm going to want a green base. So in Pravana, our ash is going to give you that. So I am going to go ahead and tone with our Ash Express tones. And that is going to diminish that tone enough for me to go ahead and either take them back to natural or change up their color. Now, a great thing to do when you have Vivids clients as well, and they like to change up their color a lot, when they come in, what they kind of faded to, you can change the color there too. So if somebody was, let's say they were, we'll just go with red. We're keeping on theme, you guys. So let's say they were red and they came in and they were like a very soft faded red tone and they wanted to be violet. I could go ahead and use some of my blues over top of that red, right? Because that hair has been pre-lightened. I can use those blues over top and change it that way. We don't always need to completely remove our Vivids tones in order to create a new look. So we can customize that way. So we are on to our last section here. We are you guys just got me talking away, huh? So I am making sure, again, that I am taking small sections. I don't want my sections to be super thick. If I make my sections super thick, I am not going to get that full saturation in the hair. And this is our last section. So for this look, we just followed around the head, the pattern all the way around the head. So on this side, the beginning of her hair is going to be our spicy panel, which again was our red Vivids with black additive into our flame, orange, and yellow. And our second panel is going to be our juicy, brand new juicy, or crush into juicy. And on this side, because I am just following the shape of her head, and I'm so sorry, Deborah, you have a little head, I am ending up with our second panel, our juicy into our crush. And you see how thick that section is? It's not crazy thick, right? Do you guys see that? And I'm making sure, again, every about 3 fingers length, I'm adding more Vivids. And I'm really making sure that I'm getting all the way in there, right? I'm really kind of not letting there be any question as to if I am saturated or not, so I don't have to worry. And we are almost done, and we are going to get to that mohawk section really quickly. So it was super fun getting to kind of have creative freedom to create this look for you guys. Do you guys ever get to have creative freedom when you are doing looks? That is my favorite thing when it comes to clients, especially with being a PRAVANA lover. I've been using PRAVANA for 10 years now, which is 11 years now. I'm so sorry. It's 2026 now, is it not? That's so crazy. And I have loved every second of using PRAVANA because I have all of the tools to create super fun looks like this. So now that we have our panels done around her head, and go ahead and there we go. We are going to do our mohawk section. And I feel like you guys got a good view of the mohawk? And all right. I am going to say, so sorry, Deborah. And we are going to create our section for this part and where the head rounds. Instead of taking a straight horizontally back section because of how that hair lives and moves, this section I'm going to slightly diagonal for our spice because we're making these correspond, right? So for our spice, when that lays down, it's going to lay right there with the shape of the head. So I'm following the shape of her head, whereas if I did that straight, I would be going into our crush and our juicy, right? If I want to transition or diluted ends, can I break the 3-inch rule? We're getting a really soft and smooth color on the ends. Great question. If I was going to do that, if I wanted a soft look like that, I would go ahead and utilize our clear pastel, because even if I'm leaving a hollow space, I can use that clear pastel, one, to keep that space safe, and two, because if I just put the Vivids through there and pull it through, I may not get a super nice blend, right? I'm not blending it into anything, and I'm not getting that smooth transition. All I'm doing is allowing my color to dry up. So I'm going to want to make sure I utilize clear pastel or clear dilute, depending on the result that I want there, and use that to create that negative space or that softer look area. Does that make sense? So I want to make sure I'm really giving myself and using all the tools at my disposal to make sure I'm getting that super nice, beautiful, like seamless blend. I absolutely love doing looks like that. Negative, like what we call negative space. I think that a really fun way to use blonding and vivids, because I will say this until I'm blue in the face. If you are a vivid specialist, you are a blonding specialist, right? You have to get blonding down when you are using vivids, because again, you're lifting that hair. So for Juicy and Crush, I'm lifting that hair to a level 8. If they are already a level 8, I just want to do like a nice soap cap or a quick kind of lightning service all over their head, again, to create those anchor points in the hair. We want to make sure that we are setting ourselves up for success. And we do that by, again, following that 3-inch rule. So if you guys can see, I have that color there. You see how thin my section is there? Like if I had a newspaper, you can read it, right? So I have that thin section there, and I'm really kind of working that color in, right? And because I'm using those 3 fingers to be my measurement, which is, we're using it for saturation, and we're using it to make sure we are staying within the same consistent ending point throughout the head, right? And you can kind of flip the head over and check and make sure that you have your colors or your vivids all the way through there, right? So then I'm going to wipe my hands. I don't know if you guys have noticed how many times I have wiped my hands throughout this, which is 50-11. That's what my little niece likes to say, 50-11 times. That's how many times you want to make sure you are wiping your hands when you are doing vivids. So again, we are doing our spice panel. So we have our red and our black additive. When you are using any of our additives, so our black additive, when we use this, we want to make sure that it says Vivids, okay? We want the box to look like this for our black additive. And we want to make sure we are putting our tone in there first. So when I created the red tone in this, I squirted out, put in the bowl my red first. And then I went ahead and added my black additive, just a little bit at a time until I saw what I wanted to see. So we don't want to put our black additive in there first, because it is going to take a lot of color, right, to create our goal, unless we wanted it super on that more black side, because that tone is going to take over, right? So we are going to want to make sure we are applying or putting in our bowl our color first, and then we are adding our black additive. And then I was like, I heard something. When we are using our clear dilute or our clear pastel, we want to make sure that we, again, are doing the opposite. So clear pastel and clear dilute, because they are softer tones, are going to be able to be taken over, right? So we want to make sure we are adding our clear dilute or our clear pastel first, and our black or our tone after, second. When you wipe your hands, do you use a wet or a dry towel? I use a dry towel. It just grabs it all, I feel like, very well. I like it to hang off of my tray, so it just keeps everything kind of contained, right? So again, I'm slowly running out of time with you guys, but do you guys see how I'm lining this up in our mohawk section? So I'm working on my crush and juicy side. So I'm going to make sure this lines all the way up. So when it lays down, we're getting those panels, right? So the underneath is basically like our anchor point for this look. And then we're just kind of following along when it comes to our mohawk section. Now, I am going to be freeing you guys from this call very shortly, but I want to let you guys know, first off, that we have tons of free education. You can go ahead and sign up for. Everybody on here has a Pravana account, so that's super great. So glad you're part of the family. Make sure you are checking that event calendar, especially when we have new launches like this. We try to give you guys as much free education as humanly possible. We want to help create and grow our community, right? We're all one big family in Pravana and in the beauty industry, and we want to make sure that we are giving you guys all of the education we possibly can. So make sure you guys are always checking out that events calendar for our free classes. And remember, if you sign up and you can't come, that'll be sent to you in your email afterwards. So you can always go back through and rewatch, which is super cool and super nice. So if you're in the salon or busy, you can always go back and have some great education. And since everybody here is a Pravana user, make sure you guys are signing up for Pravana Perks if you are not signed up already. You are already buying Pravana, you already love Pravana, so you may as well get some perks, right? You can sign up with 2 distributors of your choice, and it'll track automatically all of your purchases every quarter, and you'll earn some free stuff. So again, we did our sweet and spicy look. We took vertical sections all around the head, and then we took our mohawk section and lined it up with our bottom section so that we get those beautiful panels. And I want a ChromaSilk class. I have a lot of questions. I love that. So we definitely have Pravana ChromaSilk classes on our events page. Make sure you are looking for Pravana Essentials, and you will get a lot of information about our ChromaSilk. Now, because I am not going to finish Miss Deborah here before I let you guys go enjoy the cold weather, make sure you guys go ahead and shoot me a follow or check out my stories later at amandakay.hair is my Instagram. I am going to be posting Miss Deborah here all finished and ready for Valentine's Day. So you guys will see the entire finished look of our sweet and spicy modern day Kelly Clark. I think everybody still calls it Kelly Clarkson. This was a good class. Thank you. Thank you so much. Thank you all for coming to hang out. I'm so excited to get to talk to you guys all about Vivids, especially when we have our new launch. I'm so excited to see what you guys create. If you guys get your hands on our new Juicy and Crush Vivids, make sure that you guys are posting it, tagging at Pravana, tagging me. I would love to see what you guys create. And if you use this technique, same thing. I would love to see what you guys create. I love giving everybody their flowers all the time. So we are, again, one last time, our formulations are going to be our Vivids Red with black additive into our flame, into our orange, and into our yellow, blended with our 2 fingers using our 3-inch rule. And then we have our panel of our Crush into Juicy, working all the way around the head in those vertical sections so that we create that super fun, chunky, but blended, modern day Vivids look. Can you show the finished? Oh yeah, of course. So this is going to be our finished side. We're gonna, the magic of TV. Deborah, let go. So this is the finished side up close. You guys see that? So we see that we have those beautiful panels. We have, again, you see that nice shadow that we created by using that red and that black additive. And again, because we were using that 3-inch rule to keep everything cohesive, everything lines up very well. I don't know why my voice sounded like that. And then we have those softer pops. You can also do this. You could have done one solid color underneath and did your mohawk section. Or again, you could have flipped it and kept the top something like platinum blush or a very nice blonde. So there's a lot of things that you can use with this. My Instagram is at amandakay.hair. And I will be posting again the fully finished styled look on there. It was so fun getting to hang out with you guys and getting to talk all things Vivid. Make sure you are following at Pravana, me, at Amanda K Hair, shameless plug. And you are checking the Pravana events calendar as well as being signed up for, thank you, as well as being signed up for our Pravana perks. Thank you guys so much for hanging out with me. Please stay warm. Summer is on its way, and make sure you tag us and at Pravana with all of your looks that you make, whether it be with our new tones or any others. Thank you guys. We're going to keep doing Deborah.